Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Intact Campus Care Presents Group Discussion. Our topic for the day is: should e documents replace the paper? And for the group discussion, we have a bunch of lovely kids from different schools. So, without wasting any time, let's begin with this group discussion already. So, hi guys, who would like to go first?
I would like to go first, but my mic can't connect to my webcam, so can I start?
Yeah, sure, Beta. Please go on.
Okay. So, good morning, one and all present here today. Myself, Abdul Hadi Ansari from class 11th B from St. Joseph Convent School, Ratla, Madhya Pradesh. Should e-commerce replace paper? According to my viewpoint, yes, e-commerce, according to my viewpoint, yes, e-document should replace paper because of the following reasons. In paper document, there is always a risk of a document being lost or misplaced, or it can be used by the other person, as the security concerns are always there. And e-document does not have that much risk. And the second thing is that if we start using e-documents, then there will the use of the paper will be reduced, and the cutting down trees will be brown. The cutting down of trees will also be reduced, and that will be good for our environment also. So I think that e-documents should replace paper.
Thank you so much, Abdul. So, do we have anybody who'd like to add to him or maybe speak next?
Can I go, ma'am?
Yeah, please go.
Good evening, ma'am, and everyone over here. I'm Kranti Vijay Kaja from ALEMR Sakre, Hubli, Karnataka. Yes. So, let me start. The topic is: should e-document replace the papers over here? According to me, it should, because the first reason is it actually saves money. As Abdul said, that it even avoid the deforestation, and also save us from like some environmental issues and overcome the environmental issues like cutting trees. And also, it is easy to modify. Once if the paper document is made, then it's again we have to make another paper to modify. But here in e-documents, we can easily modify. Also, it is encrypted and secure. There is no doubt. And I want to give a best example over here. That is Dubai. It is one of the country which has made 100% paper less documents. Like, even though it's a government procedure, official, normal, or the daily works over there are just done on online. That is e-document. But yeah, I think it should be e-document replacing the paper. And also, I want to add one more point. That is the risk. The we think that e-documents are not safe, but that's actually wrong. It's actually encrypted and more secure than the normal. If once you lost it, you have to again make another. And indirectly, it will affect the economy also, because as I told, it saves money making the papers instead of just using e-document. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kranti. So, do we have anybody who'd like to speak next, guys?
I could start next.
Yeah, please go on.
I would like to add
Yes,
a view.
Abdul, please go on.
E-documents can also be misused by someone can hack or someone can steal it from your computer or website.
But also, we have measures to avoid that. And you also have protective devices like McAfee security, which, save you from hackers.
But it's not always that you can access data always. Sometimes things can go wrong also, right?
Of
But
course,
as
they
I
can.
said,
But also, your paper documents can be lost too. Is that not a point? And nothing is ever really safe. You need to be, willing to risk everything. But that's not really the case here because we don't usually have all that important documents we're in school. But if you're talking on a company level base, they usually have protective measures. The whole section of IT is responsible for this security
I agree
and
with that
cyberbullying.
at this point.
Thank you so much, Dishi. So, do we have anybody who'd like to add to them or maybe speak next?
Ma'am, I could add to the cons of using digital e-documents.
Yeah, please go on, Beta.
Yeah, okay. So making e-documents can also be expensive because not everyone in India has laptops or tablets or PCs required for this. So it's not always necessary to use e-documents. We should always give more give I don't know more. Papers have always been a great part of our life. They've always been used. Parchments first, and then the stuff we use now. And notebooks are an important part of a student's life. If we just get rid of them, I don't know how easy it would be for students to just go from paper writing stuff down to typing stuff out. And also, typing is not always that fast. Some people in India are not ready to use the keyboard yet. So, first of all, I think that there should be classes to teach people to type faster, and then only we can convert to e documents. And also, the battery life of computers. If you're making notes in a class using a laptop, you always have to be sure that the battery life of a laptop is on charge. And if it goes out, you have no way of doing it again. So, back to paper. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dishi.
Can
Who'd
I
like
add
to go
one?
next? Yeah, Beta, please.
Yeah, I agree with the point as you said. But don't you think the 100% of converting the whole paper into e-document would even help us by the environmental issues, as we have, as you are studying also that we are going through some serious environmental problems, and you are telling about the money. Yeah, in making of paper can also cost much more, and even by reducing the papers, we can even save money, right?
Of course, we can. See, I don't disagree with the point that we should all convert to e documents and not use paper. It's absolutely true. We need to do that, right? But also, we can't do that just like this. We need step by step, little steps. First, we need to tell people we need to have basic facilities like computers in every school. Most of the government schools don't have IT labs as much as our schools do. Also, I am in MSM and I'm Dishi. I'm sorry for not introducing myself.
It's totally fine, Beta.
From us, everything has one good point and other bad point. Here we have advantages also and disadvantages also. Like the advantages, there are many advantages for moving from um paper side to the electronic side, but we also have bad effects of it. Like people, it helps us, if it affects our health also, right? Like sitting in front of the computer from 2 to 3 hours, it's straining for the eyes and also for the health of the student. Ma'am, should I tell further?
Yeah, sure, Beta.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, everyone here is trying to use efficiently their resources to increase the profits. And from moving from digital solution will always increase the improvement. And ma'am, here, ma'am, there are many benefits of digitalization documents, especially if you are a company realized or efficient and streamlined document storage. Now, let's look at some of the relevant benefits to consider which you are thinking to to switch to digitalization. I'm sorry, ma'am. Myself, Sanskriti Patil from KLEM Masakri, ma'am.
It's totally fine. You can also introduce yourself after you're done speaking, Beta.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
It's totally fine. Don't be sorry. All
Uh,
right.
I'll, add- I'll add my points later, ma'am.
It's okay. Thank you so much. So, do we have anybody who'd like to add to her, guys?
Then I like to add one point. Ma'am.
Yeah, please go on.
Ma'am, myself, Samatra from KLA MR Sakri School, ma'am. I would like to add the point, ma'am, till when the people are not educated about the digital records, it is not safe. It's not safer than the paper documents, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Samarth. So, do we have anybody else who'd like to speak next, guys?
Can I speak?
Yeah, please go on, Priyanka.
Hi everyone, I'm Priyanka. I'm from MSM, Mountain Mary School, Delhi, Can. So I have this thing that the only thing between an individual and a paper record they shouldn't have access is to lock and key or set. And I also think that we should convert paper documents to electronic documents because uh, it's easier to find. It's easier to what they say to access it because obviously it's on your mobile, and I'm pretty sure not everybody has mobiles these days, but like I'm sure like one member in the family has a mobile. And as we say in companies, there are a lot of companies in which previously there used to be a storage room in which there used to be hundreds of documents. And nowadays we don't have that. Companies don't have that because they have all converted into electronic, because and that's very easy. Documents are very easy to find. And also I have this point that there's always a possibility that paper documents can be lost, misplaced, or destroyed by accident. And natural disasters like such as fires can destroy very important paper documents, very very important, which can be any accounts or like of a company, like important stuff, important documents like that. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. Who'd like to go next, guys? Do we have anybody who'd like to go next or maybe add to her?
I could add to her
Ma'am,
points.
but in today's world, all prefer paper document than that of e-documents because people think that paper documents are more safer.
Ma'am, I would like to add one point, ma'am.
Yeah, Beta, please go on. Dishi, you were also adding something. You can speak after him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I think most of the people keep their paper documents in at one place, ma'am. They keep in stacks. So if it gets lost, it will lost in full stacks, ma'am. But whereas in digital document, it cannot be happen, ma'am, so easily. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, I agree with Samar.
Dishi, Beta, you were
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, paper documents have never been that safe. They are always getting lost or destroyed, as Priyanka already said. And ma'am, e-documents, we can always back them up on Drive or Google or different softwares. There is always a chance, and they're easy to access, right? Because trying to find a file from the stacks of file you already have is it's like walking in a park, right? It's like hiking up a tree when you can hiking up a mountain when you can just go to a location where you saved your file and just click it. It's much easier.
Yes, ma'am, agree with Dishi on this.
Yeah, I also, because while finding some important files, we need some lot of work. But in e-documents, we just simply search it. It will be on a screen.
Yeah, ma'am, it's
And also
headache
paper
to, ma'am,
documents.
find too much of files, ma'am, in one stack, ma'am. To find a particular file, we need lots of man work, ma'am. But in directly in digital document, we can directly search and we can get the digital document easily, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And paper documents also take up a lot of space. That's a big issue.
Yeah.
a lot of trees are also, destroyed for those papers as well.
Deforestation.
Thank you so much, guys. Do we have anybody else who hasn't spoke in a while?
Ma'am, here, while the production of paper, there is many energy is lost, ma'am. Like to produce the paper, and after when it is used, it is not recycled, ma'am. The 100% which is made, which is produced, only 20 to 30% paper is reused, ma'am. So here we there's a point to change to digitalization, ma'am.
Thank you so much, beta.
And I would like to add one point, ma'am.
Yeah, beta, please go on.
Ma'am, after some documents which are more important in paper, we can assume that there are some documents they are conserved in papers, ma'am, for many years. After some time, ma'am, that papers will start decaying, ma'am. But in digital documents, ma'am, or digital records, ma'am, it's not like that, ma'am. We can have it for many years, ma'am. It's more safer than the paper documents, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
And when digital source is also portable, when we can move it from here to here, it is not always like we have to carry. In paper, we have to carry those things, but in digital source, it is portable easily. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, beta. Do we have anybody who hasn't spoke in a while or maybe like to add something to her? And for
Ma'am, I
all the
also have.
viewers, yeah, beta, just a second. And for all the viewers, do not forget to vote for your favorite contestant. Yeah, beta.
Ma'am, I also want to talk about data tampering, which
Yeah.
is adding or removing pages to a record, adding or erasing entries or other forms of changes. It's always an issue with paper records that can never truly be solved. Data tampering is a concern with both unauthorized and authorized individuals, and it can be hard to track down a culprit. Electronic records are harder to modify and can notify administrators the instant that a change has been made and which user made it. So I think all of these factors considered, electronic record keeping is a clear winner in this. So I would say all documents should be converted into electronic version. It's because it's safer. Yes, I would say yes that there are risks in electronic record keeping, because risks are there in everything, be it paper documents or be it electronic ones. But I think we would like to prefer the ones which has less risk, which is obviously the electronic documentation, record keeping. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Priyanka. So Ankit has just joined us. Hi, Ankit. Would you like to speak now?
I have a point to add, ma'am.
Yeah, please go on.
Ma'am, here in the electronic resource, ma'am, the data which is given, ma'am, the data which is given is not always, it is limited till a time bond. There's a time bond. After the data, it gets expired, right? Like it is not reassured, ma'am. But in electronic resources, it can be reassured in seconds and seconds. So here, I think electronic wins the race.
Yes.
Ma'am, I would like to also add some point, ma'am. Ma'am, in the documents which we keep in files, ma'am, at home, if somebody tries to steal it, ma'am, so we do not know, ma'am, if somebody is trying or not. But in digital document, if someone tries to steal or someone tries to access, ma'am, so we can get a notification, ma'am, which can help us to secure, ma'am, easily, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, beta. So Ankit, Vedant, or Chitrank, guys, would you like to add something to him or maybe speak something?
Ma'am, can I start
Yeah, beta,
about
please go
mine?
on.
Hello, everyone. First of all, my name is Chitrank. I'm from Keli Amasakre. Should electric documents replace paper? According to my viewpoint, no. Or should I rephrase it like not now? It needs to take some ample amount of time so that we can go from normal paper electric documents to switch into electric documents of 100% or something, because there are many disadvantages and risks. Sure, there are risks with normal papers also, but there is no data security. It might be prone to hacking, and everyone cannot use those softwares or how do they know that these softwares are trustable and these software are not? And then there are so many software and data storage costs, and while staring at a normal screen for 2 to 3 hours causes pain in our eyes. And because of these things, electronic documents, there is too much cost for IT sector is blowing up, and it might not be affordable to some people. And sometimes computers or laptops, it's as I said earlier, it's not provided to everyone, and sometimes they might be fragile and they might need repairing costs. And there are always issues with the internet problem due to the climatic conditions. And mainly for rural people, it's not too accessible, and it takes up too much memory sometimes. And the solutions which I would like to provide for it, that government needs to provide computers. Slowly it needs to develop IT labs. uh, Ample amount of computer teachers needs to be provided, and people need to understand the ample use of computer and how they need to use it correctly. Instead of using it for other ways, they need to use it correctly. And for some people have mentioned here that papers, uh, they might be kept here or there, they might be storage costs, but we can still segregate it correctly, keep it in alphabetically orders, and papers can be reused and can be recycled. If we do it correctly, papers also can be used correctly. But the actual thing is that we are actually not using it correctly. If we do it correctly, papers can be also used. And slowly, to avoid deforestation, desertification, we can use electronic documents, but not now. It needs to have ample amount of time, and it needs to be supported by everyone, and there needs to be awareness about it. Thank you, ma'am.
Chitrang, I would like to tell about this thing. You told that we should not start the development the change of moving towards electric resources now, but if we don't start it now, it will alter the time of the futuristic mindset we have for the India, right? Like if we don't start a development from now, it will affect the future. And of course the future is digital.
Of course, it's digital. I am not saying it's digital, but now now you can take the examples of IT companies which are being highly explosive in cities. Those are bombing up, and in middle quarantine, uh, you can also see online classes. Those things, they have changed our lives so efficiently, but when we keep to our mobiles, we might get distracted.
Yeah.
Whereas when we use books, we don't get distracted, and our eyes don't cause a lot of pain. And for so many rural people, because of raining, climatic conditions, floods, internet was not accessible, and they had to skip their classes for some or the other thing. That's why I think, not now, but it needs to take some time, slowly, and there needs to be awareness for it. Government needs to provide computer labs for everything, and not only one thing can be changed. Slowly, everyone needs to develop. Not only one person or one city. Everyone needs to develop slowly, so that everything can be addressed and can be taken step by step process, like Dhriti had said earlier. I completely agree with that.
Thank you, Chitrang. Kranti Beta, do you want to speak something? You can just
Yeah,
speak, Beta, without raising your hand. Please go on.
yeah, thank you. I want to just inform Chitrang that nothing happens in just a snap. Because, see, I agree with you that it takes time, but as a nation develops, right, every problem will be cleared. Like as a nation develops, you know that internet problems can be overcome. You know that IT companies, you're talking about IT companies, you're talking about that sitting in front of screen 2 to 3 hours will take affect our health. Finding the papers, the stacks of thousands in 10 hours is better than just doing it work in just a second. Don't you think that?
Instead of doing those things,
Kranti,
like
I'm sorry, Beta. Kranti, you just said nothing happens in just a snap. Have you seen Avengers Endgame?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so
that's
Thanos just wiped out half of the universe in just a snap. I'm just joking, Beta. Please go on.
yeah. I was just telling that as it will take time, but as
Yeah, I
the
get it. I was just joking. Okay.
yeah.
Kranti, my answer to you is that instead of keeping papers, everything everywhere like a hotspot, you can keep it alphabetically. You can segregate it correctly instead of using 10 hours for those things. You can segregate it correctly from the first hand above. And internet problems. There were so many internet problems in rural areas, and there were rains, there were floods. I can carry my books in the flood somehow, some or the other. How I can carry my books somewhere in my hand. I can take them
But they'll
some.
get wet.
Yeah, that only. And
Sure, yes,
Ma'am, I have to add one point.
it
Ma'am,
will
I
get
would
wet.
like to add some point, ma'am, regarding ma'am, yeah, like I have to give an example. If someone wants to become a scientist, after reading just one book, he cannot become a scientist, ma'am. So, ma'am, I think so. It will take time, ma'am, but it will gradually, the digital records will start, ma'am, growing, ma'am. And I would like to see, ma'am, how Chitra said, ma'am, we can keep it in proper manner. But for keeping in proper manner, we need more time and more power, ma'am. But in digital documents or in digital record, ma'am, we can do just in 1 second, ma'am. So I like, ma'am, that digital records should be taken 100%, ma'am, from government.
yes, ma'am.
We all can't, like always keep our documents alphabetically. It takes time. We have to do other stuff also. Like we're not talking. I'm not talking about us, obviously, because but we have to study also. So we can't obviously put everything alphabetically in order every time. And if we talk about companies, big companies, then so that is definitely they can't do it all the time.
Yes,
And
that's
also
exactly.
to address the issue of the rural areas not having enough computers or IT labs, well, government is already taking measures to address that situation. And IT labs, the access use of using them is providing employment opportunities. And we need those in India especially.
Yes, there is lot of unemployment in India, and this provides employment in India, no problem. But because of this, people are not completely aware of everything here. That's why I'm saying it's a slow gradual process, and it shouldn't be in a second. It needs to take an ample amount of time so that people can understand. Like we can understand, but others, there might be people who might not be interested, or they cannot provide ample time for this and that, for these things. And there can be many chances of hacking those things also. That's why I think slowly gradually.
Antivirus, my friend. Antivirus is your friend. Use antivirus. Some of them are free.
How can I know that this antivirus is correct and this antivirus is not?
You can't just
Research.
everything right, Chitrang. Like
Just because paper have been used, you do not have to use them forever. Get on with the lifespan, with the century.
Obviously, paper is a traditional method, so we can follow it easily. And for example, let me give you. For example, I'm a gamer, okay, and in my mobile, I have a game, and because I have downloaded your antivirus, my game is working nicely and for everything. But I get banned in the game. Wouldn't it kind of, what should I say,
Ma'am, I
demoralize?
would like to add one point, ma'am. Ma'am, I would like to add, ma'am, that if we keep ma'am paper documents, that he will not give it a notification that he will come and steal your documents, ma'am. Ma'am, he will come and directly steal your document without knowing you, ma'am. But in this, ma'am, if we have antivirus, it's more secure, ma'am. And if someone tries to hack or tries to log in also, ma'am, so you get a notification ma'am, to secure our files or transfer the files from one another the PC or something, ma'am. And when we can use them fax, ma'am, this is the most secure way to send in documents from one system to another system.
ma'am, supporting digitalization will create more opportunities in IT sectors, and that is what the youth of India needs. It out. Many people are having capacity of going and like helping for the development of the nation in the IT sector. So if we support digitalization, there will be it will reduce unemployment in our country, ma'am.
Sanskruti, I would like to add to your point. You said that in IT sector, India needs IT sector now, but already IT is booming. 60% of the GDP is provided by the IT sector itself, but still primary sector, more people are employed in it, and it needs time. They cannot be educated in 1 second and given computers everything. It will need time, and India doesn't need IT so much now. It is because they are causing so many problems. There is no work-life balance, and 9 to 5 for just namesake 9 to 5 job, but it is going somewhere or the other thing. There are so many problems for eyesight, brain, and there are also other problems like people only need to sit in front of the mobile for hours together. This causes leg pain, many things, obesity on daily basis. Yes, and I completely agree with you guys that we need to modernize, but what's my point is that we cannot do it in 1 minute or 1 second. We will
Nothing
need
in
equal
one
amount of time. Yes,
round.
I completely agree
Need
with that.
for everything, and
There are disadvantages to normal paper, everything, yes,
yeah.
but still it is okay if we use the traditional methods instead of using modernization.
So yeah, if we 100% support digitalization, it is not happening that paperwork is going to vanish out of this world. It is going to stay there. But here the point is, the question comes of the development. If we don't start the thing now, it will affect the future, right, Jitram?
Sure, I completely agree with that.
We can go both ways. For some
Fine.
time, obviously, we can go both ways. Like
Yes.
some of the documents can be paper documents, so some of the documents can be. We have to go slow. I'm agreeing with Chitrang here. So we have to go slow, but we have to at one point of time we have to start.
Yeah,
We have to start it.
we can
Right.
always like, yeah, going slow, and stopping somewhere. We need to start,
Yes.
and for starting, we
Yes.
need to move. We can't say like, "Ha, dheere chalna, dheere chalna." No, we have to start
Correct.
at some place.
Yes.
We have already started, but I'm adding key issues here and slow. Yes, I completely agree with you guys that yes, not slow. We are going really slow, but still, government is providing ample opportunities. Like Dhriti said that it is giving IT labs in rural areas. Everything, yes, but I'm worried about the situations here. If I'm a person who is going to school, yes, I'm already going to school, and if I use e-documents in my book, in my mobile, I can use e-documents here. But how can I take my mobile to school? School is not allowing. So I will need books, and we can do it simultaneously. We directly don't switch, and slowly and raising the rate faster, but slowly, so that ample time is provided and everyone has the hang of it slowly, instead of someone directly arguing with it or why did it have to happen so fast. No one, everyone needs to catch up there. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I also want to inform
And I
you.
will like,
Yeah,
you can go on.
Country.
yeah. Listen, Chitra, as you told that modernization is not so important. Now we can go on traditional. Is that right? As you told.
No, modernization is important, but slowly, not fast. And slowly we can increase the pace and make it as faster as possible. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So, are you with the replacing the e-documents with the paper?
Yes, I am with it.
Thank you. And I also want to inform you that if we start now, right, as our country is developing, then only we can reach 100% paperless.
I agree
Thank you
with
so
you.
much, guys. So I hope everyone is done with their part.
Ma'am, I will
Excuse
like
me,
to add
my
one point.
Yeah, please go on, guys.
Ma'am, I will go with the Chitrang ma'am that it will take some time, ma'am. As someone told you, ma'am, to eat food, ma'am, in just 1 second. So the food will be not properly digested or it will not be chewed. If we take time, ma'am, so that food will chewed nicely, ma'am. So it will be in a proper manner. So it will be more efficient, ma'am. And ma'am, there will be no that. There will be no someone who do not know only ma'am how to achieve only food ma'am. If we did in one just one snap ma'am. But ma'am, I would like to also add one point ma'am. If we do not start ma'am now, so it can be not started in future also ma'am. So abhi nahi to kabhi bhi nahi ma'am. So that slogan can be used here ma'am. Thank you ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, here at the last, ma'am, I think the point is coming is we should support electronic resources also, but we can't stop the traditional method of writing the
Support
paper.
both.
Yeah, like for some resources, like for research purpose and making notes, we can use the internet, we can use the electronic devices, but stopping the complete usage of paper will be it won't be
It's going to be difficult for us to completely stop using papers and going absolutely digitalized. So I
Yeah.
think if we're going to support both,
Yeah,
it's
I
better
Ma'am,
if
I
we
would
support
like to
both.
also tell ma'am that big things also takes time ma'am. So we
Yes.
should give some time.
Yes.
So I think the outcome we all have come to is modernization is important, and slowly we need to change. And
Yes. We should support both the traditional method and the electronic
the
method.
electronic method also.
really
Yes.
agree with.
And also, just to point out,
As the
it's
technology,
already started. We have already started converting almost every document to written format. Even though both the documents are being used, we usually do prefer,
The traditional method.
electronic document too. Yeah, obviously we're going to use the traditional method because it's what we've always been doing, but we do need electronic documents more in our lives.
Yes.
guys, you are saying that how the technology is improving, right? And it's very useful for you all, right? I respect to traditional methods, but if the traditional method is followed now, you would have been using the rollers instead of me. It would take a lot of time to make your chutney at your home or the whatever it is, the food products. So as the technology increases size, so we should shift to e-documents slowly. Like it will, we start thinking it's difficult for us now to think that completely e-documentation. But as the technology increases, right, it will be easier for us to access it. And as you know, today, if the Dubai had been thinking like that, no, we will start it afterwards, then it wouldn't be the 100% paperless government. Even every official documents over there, even from the schools to the ATMs to the governments, have been using the e-document. Don't you think that?
कुछ चीज कभी कभी अच्छी लगती है पर कभी कभी ना जैसे कभी बात नहीं हो रही हो या कम
Uh,
बात हो रही हो तो
Ma'am,
बहुत खींचती है
e-document will
लड़ाई हो रही
also
हो तो
reduce
दुनिया को
employment
दिखता है
chances
दुनिया
in
को
India,
दिखता है
and
अरे
it will
तुम लोगों
directly
की
affect
आज
GDP
से
of
तुम
India,
साथ
which is
नहीं
not
रहे
good. And in India, all the people
कभी
do not
बहुत
know
सारे
how
काम
to
क्या
use
है
a
ना हम
computer
डेली
properly.
साथ जाते हैं
And
तो कभी
shifting
जैसे
from
उसे कुछ
paper
काम
to
हो या
e-document
मेरी
will take time.
मुझे घर
So
जल्दी जाना
some
हो
of them
क्या
don't
बोले
have a
तो
computer,
साथ नहीं
so
रहे
it will take time
वगैरह वगैरह
If
to
we
close.
suddenly move to electronic, everything will be electronic. We will be confused.
और जो भी
Yeah.
बोलो नजर
We will be confused. The rural people will be confused because they are going to see it for the first time. So they will be confused in everything, whatever is happening. The computers, how to use a computer, laptops, everything is going to be very confusing to them. I think it's better if we go slowly. And we have started, obviously. We have started already. But we go both ways. I think I'm going to support both. I'm not going to go equally and support one thing. So
पागल है क्या वो विक्रांत है भाई वो विक्रांत नहीं है भाई बेबी देखो वो विक्रांत है मेरी आंखें खराब है तेरी आंखें खराब है तुझे कहाँ से दिख रहा है वो विक्रांत है पागल है क्या
But in upcoming times, people will prefer e-documents, and paper documents work
इस
will
वाली
also get
लाइन
stopped.
में मोनू वाली लाइन में मोनू तो ये बैठा ना हाँ तो इसका आखिरी वाला
Yes.
लास्ट बच्चा
I agree
वो
with
चश्मे
Abdul.
वाला नहीं उसके बाद भी एक और है चश्मे वाला वहाँ क्यों जा रही है इधर आ जाना चश्मे वाले से भाई तो ये विक्रांत ही तो ये विक्रांत नहीं है ये विक्रांत है ये विक्रांत नहीं है तेरी आंखें खराब है कि ये विक्रांत नहीं है रुक जा मुझे बंद कर Thank you so much, guys. I hope everyone is done.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm done with my part, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, guys. You were really amazing. It was really wonderful having you here.
Thank
And
you,
I
ma'am.
hope you guys too enjoyed the group discussion.
Yes, ma'am. We enjoyed
I
it.
enjoyed the group discussion.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
It
you,
was
everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone, for having me
Thank you,
here.
ma'am. Have a great day too.
Have a great day,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
You too, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.